There are things that people do inside of conversations between, individuals that are going to make them seem like they're lying, that they're not telling the truth, that they can't be trusted. And while it's one of those things where I'm going to talk about this, I'm going to teach you guys what not to do. So people are going to think that you're more credible, more respectful, more trustable. But this is something, depending on like what it is, that's going to take some serious conscious effort not to do. I'm not saying it's like hard, because this is one of those things that I never knew about this until recently, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, I had no idea that little things like that mattered as much. And then I started thinking on like the interactions I've had with people, with like eye contact specifically, and I'm like, damn dude, that actually makes total sense. I'm like, are you kidding me? Because like, if you're talking to somebody, to give you an example before I go into the video, if you talk to somebody and they keep like looking away from you when they're talking to you, that's either going to signal that they're not interested, they're not telling the truth, or maybe they're anxious, like they're nervous. And that's one of those little things that now I'm like, I've never found it respectful if I'm talking to somebody and you can't make eye contact with me. I'm always like, okay, that's kind of rude. But I never understood that it's little behaviors like that that can really influence somebody's opinion of you so much. So before I get into the video and start yapping about this, if you do like what you see, man, please give the video a thumbs up. Brand new channel, I would really appreciate that. You would help promote the video into YouTube's algorithm so more people can see this. All right, so we're gonna talk about like fidgety behaviors. Let me, maybe demonstrating it might be a better way to say it. So if I had to come up with a word where, okay, I'm going to teach you in this video like what you can do when you talk to somebody that's going to make them trust you more. You're going to become more like confident. You're going to appear more credible as an individual. Where I can say, okay, so like in this video, I'm going to teach you how to appear more like, confident, more more like credible in this video. Like this is really like simple to do. It's just follow these steps. So could you guys pick up on that small, I don't know if you're able to see it. When I was watching that, because I've got a little mirror right here that I can see myself talking. When I was watching that in like my peripherals, because I'm talking to you, when you start like playing with yourself like this, man, I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense as to why I'm going to think that the person speaking might not be telling the truth. Maybe he's not that credible. He could be new to speaking. Like I know people, when they start like filming YouTube videos, they get in front of a camera for the first time, they're real nervous. They don't know how to talk to a camera because they've never done it before. They're going to be like thinking in the back of their head, like, oh my God, like, what do I say? What do I do? Like, am I look okay? Do I look good? They're going to have all these thoughts going through their head because they have all these thoughts going through their head. Naturally, they're going to play with themselves to make themselves feel comfortable in the moment. And that's what I mean. Those little fidgety behaviors, like if I have an itch on my head right now, if I did this is what you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to like touch yourself when you're saying things, especially when you want to become more credible. So like if you're teaching something, you don't want to make these little behaviors like that. And I demonstrated that in this video to show you in real time what you're not supposed to do. So I've got another itch right now that I can itch. It's on my face, but if I do that, if I itch myself right now, you're not like I'm teaching you guys something. I'm not going to be portrayed as more like credible, especially in an environment. The where I learned this from, they referenced the Richard Nixon and I think the John F. Kennedy presidential like debate. John F. Kennedy, I think that was the president we're talking about. JFK was talking and he was saying things and he was just, he wasn't playing with himself or doing or like anything like that. But Richard Nixon, he was like wiping the sweat off of his forehead. I think he was like scratching himself. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Richard lost. I think Richard lost that election. They never said who won, but that was the example that they gave right there. And so that to give you guys, like, there has been like studies and stuff on this, because I don't want to sit here and say like, oh, I'm teaching you guys shit that just came off like, oh, that I'm just like, oh, I came up with this, let's teach this. No, there's been studies done that has shown from like a psychological point of view, like if you're somebody that fidgets with themselves when they talk, people are not going to take you as serious as you might want them. And if you're like a guy talking to a girl and you're talking to her, ways that you can be perceived as like nervous, and women value confident men over anything, especially when it comes to like cold approach, like you guys have just started dating, right? Well, if you're talking to a girl, the first mistake is when you start talking to a girl, you want to start talking really fast. Because if you talk really fast like this, you can't really understand what it is I'm trying to say. A lot of guys will think that I have to speak fast in order to get out what I'm going to say so she listens to me. So they'll start speaking fast because there's a little bit of anxiety. Women will pick up on that. Women are so much better at naturally picking up on body language and tone and just communication in general, because women are just naturally more social than men are. So that's the first way. Another way is if you're talking to a girl and you're talking to her, but you keep looking away when you talk to her, you're going to signal to her that, again, you might be anxious, you might be nervous, you might be lying, or maybe you're not interested. Another way, again, is if you're talking to a girl, and I have an itch in the back of my head, but if I'm talking to a girl and I'm saying something, like, let's say I'm like trying to rizz her up and like compliment her right now, but like I'm like, when I'm talking to her, I'm like itch in the back of my head like this too. My face goes like this instead of like keeping like a smile on my face and like, yeah, blah 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 blah. Like if I'm like like this, that's another way that you're gonna be, because I'm fidgeting with myself, you're not gonna be taken as serious or flirty or playful as you should. The girl's gonna think like, what the hell is wrong with this guy, dude? Are you kidding me? Like, I'm just a chick and you're acting like you're fucking nervous talking to me. So when you start talking to people in situations where whatever it is you're gonna say, it needs to matter. So again, in areas you need to be credible. So if you're in a debate with somebody, if you're debating, if you're arguing, if you're teaching, or if you're trying to be confident and you're just talking, I have an itch right now on my eye. I want to itch that because I just naturally want to, but now because I'm teaching this, I'm becoming aware of all of these little movements that I would naturally do on camera without even thinking about it. But because I know this now, I'm like, oh my God, I want to itch that. But like, I know if I do this, the viewer is going to be like, what the fuck is this dude doing? I don't believe anything that he says. So when you talk in situations where you need it to matter, you cannot like fiddle around with anything. Don't touch your face. Don't scratch yourself. Don't adjust your tie. It's okay to like use your hand movements and whatnot. But that's what I'm saying is like, you don't do these. Like if I like do this, that's what I mean. Don't do that. Is what, or like this. Don't do that when you want things to matter. That's why I said it's going to take a lot of conscious effort, because it's like, well, if you have an itch, bro, I get it. We want to fucking itch that. That's uncomfortable. But you have to do it when the situation no longer requires you to, again, be believable or credible or be taken seriously. Okay, guys? So if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And hey, if you want to continue improving your social skills or just have more and better relationships with people, develop more confidence, man, if you like this video, you're going to love this one as well. Check that one out. Hey, guys, I'll see you in the next one.